Dear learners, I am Dr. Sumana Bhattacharya from Department of Commerce and Financial Studies, Atal Bihari Vajpayee Vishwavidyalay, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh. Today I will be discussing on the topic functionaries on stock exchanges. This is a part of financial market operations, a subject of BCom Part 3, Unit number 4. Introduction to stock exchange. The stock market is an organized marketplace for trading of industrial and financial securities, that is, sale and purchase of these securities in systematic order, that is, with implementation of structured rules and regulations. Now what it actually specifies is there are two types of market conditions, organized and unorganized. So stock market or stock exchange is a very well organized marketplace for trading of industrial and financial securities. Now industrial and financial securities means industrial involves all those equities and debentures etc. for financing the industrial figures, whereas financial securities also includes the investment of the public to the government bonds and other issues which are related to financing of the country. Now these documents or these securities, these portfolios are sold and purchased in a very systematic order and in a stock market, and the systematic order is due to the implementation of framed rules and regulations. So all those rules and regulations are being followed, and with the guidelines issued from SEBI, that is also followed, and this basically defines the stock market. So stock exchange or stock market is convenient place where trading in securities is conducted in a systematic manner as per the rules and regulations. It is an investment intermediary and facilitates economic and industrial development of any country in the world like India. Now stock market in India. So Indian stock market is known as National Stock Exchange, that is NSE of India Limited. This market is located in business capital of India at Mumbai. It was established in 1992. It was the first exchange of India to provide a modern, fully automated, screen-based electronic trading system which offered easy business facility to the investors spread across the length and breadth of the country. So in the whole country, NSE traded with the securities. It was the first security and it was established in the year 1992. It is in the business capital of the country, that is Mumbai, and it is also known as Mumbai Stock Exchange, which is oldest in India, and it operates in includes the operation in majority of countries of the world. So now we will learn about certain specific characteristics of stock market. The first point is it is an organized market. Stock market is an organized market and requires recognition from the central government. So it is not possible that a particular organized market is set up without the permission of the government. So it has to be established with the proper permission. Let me inform that at present the National Stock Exchange has about 2500 VSTs and 3,000 leased lines spread over 2,000 plus cities across India. So Mumbai Stock Exchange, which is also known as BSE, is the oldest in India. Okay, so it is a very well organized market. That is why we are having so much of channels for its operation. Then secondly, it is an association of persons, registered or unregistered. So it is a stock exchange. Since it is an organized market, it cannot run without the association of people. Now, these association of persons or body of individuals may be registered and may be unregistered. So we will learn in the following slides about what exactly is registered, who are registered and who are unregistered. Next is it is governed by rules and regulations of stock market and guidelines of SEBI. So previously I had explained that the buying and selling transaction in securities at the stock market are governed by the rules and regulations of stock market as well as SEBI guidelines. So no deviation from the rules and guidelines is allowed in any case. Okay. Then nextly, I would also like to tell you that it is a secondary market. We have two types of market, primary and secondary market. So we call primary market where the first equities or shares has been dealt with. The first issues, IPOs are being issued, that is called primary market, whereas the stock exchange perform the operations of secondary market. This market deals with shares, debentures, bonds and such securities already issued by the companies. It also deals with existing or second-hand securities and hence it is called secondary market. Next is authorized brokers conduct trading activities. Now all the transactions in securities at the stock exchange are effected only through its authorized brokers and members. Outsiders or direct investors are not allowed to enter in the leading circles of the stock exchange. Investors have to buy or sell the securities at the stock exchange through the authorized brokers only. Okay, so you understand this? The authorized brokers only conduct the trading activities. Nextly, provides necessary infrastructure to facilitate trading in securities. So necessary infrastructure means, as I told you, that this NSE is the first stock exchange which is providing the electronic system, the screens, etc. So all those infrastructures which facilitates or which attracts the customers, which updates the customers, investors regarding the different equities and the bonds and the debentures and all other investment opportunities are being updated through the facilities provided in the form of infrastructure in the stock exchanges. So these are the characteristics of a stock market. So now we will be talking about functions of stock market. So the prime point is stock markets are economic barometer. Economic barometer refers to the condition that a stock market reflects the economic condition of a country like a mirror. Every major change in the country and economy is reflected in the boom or recession cycle of the economy, and that is very well reflected through the stock exchange or stock market of the country. And similarly, in the second point you can see that a major function of stock exchange is to contribute to economic growth. In stock market, securities of various companies are bought and sold, and this process of disinvestment and reinvestment helps to invest in most productive investment proposal that leads to capital formation and economic growth. See, every individual or a firm can invest in the various type of securities, get financial benefits, and that ultimately leads to the economic growth of the country. Then valuation of securities. So similar importances of valuation of securities. There are the two basic factors which impact on the pricing of the securities, that is the demand and the supply factors. The securities are profitable and growth oriented companies are valued at higher, and there is more demand of such securities, whereas those companies which are having the lower price have another utility for the investors. The valuation of securities is also useful for investors, governments and creditors. The investors can know the value of their investments, the creditors can value the creditworthiness, and government can impose taxes on value of securities. So basically the pricing of securities is very important, and this important function is being done by the stock market. Then comes the trading of listed securities. Now only listed securities are traded in the stock market and the authorities include the company's name in the trade list only after verifying the soundness of the company. So this also helps to give a safety measure to the investors. So the stock exchanges produce a complete list of those companies with whom the trading of securities can be done by the investors. Then comes the scope for speculation and ownership of the securities. Now this market encourages people to invest in ownership securities by regulating new issues, better trading practices, and by educating public about investment. So it is very important that the public is also to be educated, and this duty is also being followed by the stock exchanges. To ensure liquidity and demand of supply of securities, the stock market permits healthy speculation of securities. Now when we talk about speculation, it is mentioned here, I mentioned the word here, that a healthy speculation is being conducted, which is important for the growth of the economy also. Then it also contributes in allocation of the capital in a proper manner. The general public hesitate to invest in securities of loss-making companies. So the stock market facilitates allocation of investors' fund to profitable channels so that they don't bear the losses. And finally, I would like to focus on that the function of stock market is to enhance saving, to accelerate investment, and give the condition of liquidity also. Because see, if you have certain surplus of amount, if you invest in say real estate or so the monetary condition of the investor is almost fixed. Whereas if you are able to invest in profitable securities through the stock exchange, you do that also assures about liquidity of the investors. See, functionaries on stock exchanges. That means basically a stock exchange is a place where selling and buying of securities are done through certain registered numbers of stock exchanges, and they are known as functionaries or intermediaries of stock exchange, who execute the contracts on behalf of customers. So the functionaries or intermediaries of stock exchange, what they do? They execute the contracts on behalf of customers regarding selling and buying of securities in a stock exchange. They can be brokers, sub-brokers, market makers, jobbers, portfolio consultants, NRIs, etc. So this is the basic concept of functionaries on stock exchanges. Now Now, individually we will learn about the various intermediaries of the stock exchange. So, I will begin with brokers. A stockbroker is a regulated professional individual usually associated with a brokerage firm or broker dealer who buys and sells stocks and other securities for both retail and institutional clients. These through a stock exchange over the counter. Now, in return, he gets a fee or a commission. This is to be noted that a stockbroker, what he earns? He earns a fee or a commission, okay, which is also known as brokerage. And what exactly he does? He buys and sells stocks. Now, stockbroker are known by numerous professional designations depending on the license they hold, the type of securities they sell, or the services they actually provide. So, stockbrokers are also known as a very popular name, with a very popular name called financial advisors, because they have an important function to give very efficient advice to the investor clients. Now, as an agent, the stockbroker is merely performing a service for the investor. This means that the broker will buy for the buyer and sell for the seller, each time making sure that the best price is obtained for the client. This is the simplest definition which can be given for the broker. Okay? That is, he will buy for the buyer and he will sell for the seller, making sure to obtain the best price. Now, an investor should regard the stockbroker as one who provides very valuable service and information to assist in making the correct investment decisions. They are adequately qualified to provide all answers to the numerous questions of the investors which the customer may raise. Then, the stockbrokers are governed by the SEBI Act 1992. SEBI is Securities Contracts Regulation Act 1956 and Securities and Exchange Board of India Rules and Regulations 1992. These regulations and bylaws of stock exchange, of which he is a member, as well as various directives of SEBI and stock exchange, are issued from time to time. Every stockbroker is required to be a member of stock exchange as well as registered with SEBI. Now, the documents to be signed with stockbroker before start of trading with the stockbroker, one is required to furnish his details such as name, address, proof of address, etc. and execute a broker-client agreement. So, one is also entitled to a document called risk disclosure document, which would give someone a fair idea about the risk associated with the securities market. So, a person who is investing through stock exchange must go through all these documents very carefully. Functions of brokers. I have narrated here the four major functions of brokers: buying, selling, research and marketing. Buying. So as you all know that this is the basic and prime duty of the broker. One of the most basic responsibilities is to buy stocks on behalf of his client. The second basic function is it is the responsibility of the broker to sell stock on behalf of a client. So for buying and for selling, he may earn his commission out of it. But apart from these two basic responsibilities or functions, research of the market is also an important part of his function. The competent stockbrokers research for accounting, economic and technical analysis of different companies and stocks. They go through their balance sheet, they assess the functions, they go through the dividend given by the different companies and make out that which particular equity is most profitable for his client. So research and analysis, technical analysis is a very important function. Otherwise the broker will not be able to give a valuable advice to his client for making a profitable investment. Not only these three, but marketing is also a very important function of broker. A stockbroker finds prospective clients and builds a customer base, because every time if he is dealing with a new customer, he won't be able to make growth. So he needs to develop a proper networking, a proper customer database for whom he will be able to perform in a very continuous manner to earn his own benefits, as well as to provide a successful, to create a successful investors group through his brokerage. So now we will talk about the types of brokers in stock exchange. The first type is floor brokers. A floor broker is an independent member of stock exchange, also known as a pit broker, who is authorized to execute trades on the exchange floor. The floor brokers act as agents on behalf of their clients. Because of the limited space available on the physical trading floor, floor brokers are relatively rare. They generally represent larger clients such as financial service firms, investment firms, and high net worth individuals. Nowadays, floor traders are assisted by advanced computers and trading algorithms that help them to compete with fully automated trading platforms. Then comes a commission broker. A commission broker is an employee of a brokerage company who gets remunerated for the number of trades executed. The commission structure can encourage unethical behavior by unscrupulous commission brokers. So they may be dishonest at times. So the commission brokers provide advice what stocks to buy and sell. As they earn a commission for each trade they execute for the client. The third type of broker is known as jobbers. They are also called stock jobbers. They held shares on their own books and create market liquidity by buying and selling securities and matching investors buy and sell orders through their brokers who are not allowed to make markets. So the term jobber is also used to describe a small scale wholesaler or middleman in the retail goods trade. In the following slides or in the following parts of the same video, you will be able to learn a detail about the jobbers. Now the fourth type of broker in stock exchange is called Tarawani Wala. They are active members of Bombay Stock Exchange BSE, and they are similar to a jobber. They can act both as a broker or jobber. So they can earn their commission as a broker also, and they can also perform the duty of the job of the jobber. A Tarawani Wala makes transactions on behalf like a jobber, but he may also act as a broker on behalf of the public. The next type of broker is called odd lot dealer. A broker who combines odd lots of securities from multiple buy or sell orders into round lots and executes transactions in those round lots is called an odd lot dealer. Now let me here explain you a small theory about the odd lot. That is, it is a technical analysis hypothesis based on the assumptions that the small individual investor is usually wrong, and that individual investors are more likely to generate odd lot sales. An odd lot is an order amount for a security that is less than the normal unit of trading for that particular asset. So odd lots are considered to be anything less than the standard 100 shares for a stock. So trading commissions for odd lots are generally higher on a percentage basis than those for standard lots, since most brokerage firms have a fixed minimum commission level for undertaking such transactions. Next comes the type is called Badli Walas. They are the financiers who facilitate the carryover business by financing carryover transactions of the client. Suppose there is an investor who needs financial assistance to carry over his transactions through stock exchange. So these Badli Walas they act as financiers to those investors, and they earn interest for the amount financed, which is known as Badla in a common or local language. So the next type of broker is arbitrageurs. Arbitrageurs keep a close watch on the prices of shares in different markets. So they are able to buy shares in the market where the price is low, and definitely they sell them in the market where the price is high. The amount in between the purchasing and selling price is the income of the arbitrageurs. The next is sub-brokers. Sub-brokers are agents of stockbrokers. Since they are not members of a stock exchange, they cannot directly deal in securities. He helps clients to buy and sell securities only through the stock broker. So again, it is very important that to deal directly through the stock exchange, they have to be registered members of the exchange. So one who is a broker handling a large number of investors, they have their sub-brokers. Though the sub-brokers will help the investors to invest through the broker. In the Bombay Stock Exchange, The sub-brokers are termed as remisiers. So dear learners, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it will help you to understand the basic concepts of functionaries of stock exchanges. In the next part, we will continue to further learnings of the same unit. Thank you very much.